Good afternoon and welcome. My name's Susan. Welcome to my channel. This afternoon we're going to bake some zucchini bread. I don't know about you, but during the summer the standard joke around here was don't leave your car unlocked because somebody's going to put zucchini in it. Well, I managed to take the zucchini, grate it down into 2-cup proportions and freeze it. So now we're going to turn it into zucchini bread. The first thing we're going to do is do some flour. I'm going to need 2 cups of flour. So when you're putting flour in your cup, do the dip and scoop method. You don't want to just dip the cup measure in there. You want to do it lightly. Otherwise you pack it down and you don't get a correct measurement. So here we go. We're going to do 2. This is the 2nd cup of flour for zucchini bread. We're going to mix all these dry ingredients together. Then we'll get into the wet ingredients. Okay. So there we go. There's 2 cups of flour. Now we're going to need some sugar. We're going to need 1.5 cups of sugar. Sugar you can dip and scoop. It doesn't matter. This happens to be 1/2 cup. So we're going to do 3 of these. We want a 1.5 cups of sugar. 1, 2, here's a cup, and here's 1/2. Now, there we go. Now we're going to need some baking soda, and we need 2 teaspoons.
Why do you need baking soda? What?
We need it to rise.
Rise.
Rise, I tell you, rise.
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 Red, I say rise.
Rise. So we had 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We're going to do a whole tablespoon of cinnamon. This gives it such great flavor. There's your tablespoon of cinnamon. We're going to need a teaspoon of salt. Where's my salt? Here it is. Teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now we're going to mix this together. I have a whisk here in the drawer. So this is our dry ingredients. Then we're going to mix our wet ingredients together and then combine the 2. So here we go. We've got this pretty well combined. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull another bowl over here. Now we're going to put everything together as far as the wet ingredients go. We're going to need 3 large eggs. So let's get 3 large eggs in there. There's 1. That's a toughie. 2. And we're going to do the 3rd one. Here we go. Now that I have egg all over my fingers, I'm going to wipe my fingers off here before we finish up. Now we're going to add the zucchini to it. Now, like I said, I froze 2 cups of zucchini. I did pour off some excess liquid. I don't need a bunch of it, but I don't want you to squeeze it until it's dry. You need that liquid in the zucchini. Let's mix up these eggs a little here. Look what I got. Little shell, we'll get that out of there. We don't want crunchy zucchini muffins. All right, let's mix this up a little. Here we go. All right, now we're going to put some zucchini in there. I know. I've got somebody here with a snoot. This is Tilly. I don't know if you can see Tilly right now. But she's our little beagle. And if you know anything about beagles, they live by their nose. But she's going to be all right down there. Now we're going to need 3/4 cup of vegetable oil. You notice that we're just using liquid ingredients. This is so that we get it all mixed. And I'm going to put this in here. I know you think, well, she's got a quart jar. I buy the big bottles of vegetable oil from Sam's Club, but it's kind of awkward to handle. So I just pour some in a mason jar and use it like this and then refill the jar. It's a lot easier. So we've got 3/4 of a cup, which is what? 6 ounces. Okay, there we go. 6 ounces. And now we've got, what do we have? Vanilla. Oh, look here. This probably doesn't look like your standard vanilla bottle, does it? Well, it's not. It's, and this happens to be an Absolute vodka bottle.
Oh my gosh.
I've made my own vanilla. I've taken a vodka. This happens to be Absolute vodka. You can use any vodka.
You have vodka
any
in the
rum.
kitchen? You have vodka in the kitchen?
Well, it makes things easier to digest. And to this bottle of vanilla, I put, I think it was like 25 vanilla beans sliced in half. I got these from Amazon. It was the least expensive way to go. Put them in here. Put them in a closet. This was probably 8 months in the closet before it was ripe. But now when it gets down to where the vodka is low, I can add some more vodka to it and some more vanilla beans, and we'll just be right up there. So we want a tablespoon of vanilla. Now, like I said, you can use store-bought vanilla. I prefer the homemade. I think it gives it a little more flavor. Plus, it's fun, and you can give it away as gifts if you want. Now, we're going to stir this up. Our dog's down here waiting and hoping and praying I'll drop something. Although she won't like zucchini, I'm sure. But the vanilla. So let's mix this up. Can you see that? We're getting this all mixed up. Okay, now, this is real simple here. Put this in the sink back here. We're gonna pour this dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. And just kind of dump it in there. You know, there are all sorts of zucchini bread recipes. Some use oil, some don't. Some use chocolate. Now, I for some reason, I just can't get my mind around chocolate zucchini bread. There's something about the combination of chocolate and zucchini that just doesn't sit right with me. Maybe you've had it, you love it. Let me know, you know, and we'll take another look at zucchini bread. Let's stir this up. Now, you don't want to mix this too much. You just want to incorporate the wet and the dry ingredients. As you can see, it's coming together pretty easily. And we're going to add nuts to this. Now, you don't have to add nuts to it, especially if you've got somebody that's allergic to walnuts. But we add nuts to just about any baked good we can get our hands on. We happen to like nuts. So here we go. Look at this. Okay. That's pretty well mixed. I don't see any flour hanging around. So I've got 1.5 cups of chopped up walnuts. As you see, they're not real fine. We like kind of chunky walnuts. We're going to stir these in. Ooh, there's something black in there we don't need.
That's an eggshell.
It's not an eggshell. It wouldn't be an eggshell in walnuts.
Well, I don't know. You're the one.
Well, take my word for it. You wouldn't have an eggshell in walnuts.
What?
I don't think.
Well, you had one in there before.
Okay. That was an eggshell in the eggs.
Oh.
Okay, so now we've got this pretty well incorporated. Now I'm going to bring my pans out. These are a 4x8 pan. Now they're non-stick. Well, let's talk about non-stick. You can pour, if you trust your non-stick pans, you can just dump the stuff in here. I don't trust them. I've had too many non-stick stick. So I spray these. Another way to do it is to line it with parchment paper. I find it's easier to just spray them and be done with it than to line parchment paper. Now we're gonna put these here. We're gonna try and divide these evenly. Without a scale, this will be a shot in the dark. Here we go. Now let's see what we got here. Oh, looks good. See that? Oh. You can see the zucchini in there. That looks really good. I love zucchini. I like it roasted on the grill. Or, whoops, excuse me, there we go. Flying high. It looks like we got a little more here, so we're gonna just kind of scoop it up and even it out. How's that look? Pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna put this in the oven. And it's a 350-degree oven that we preheated. We're gonna bake this for 50 to 60 minutes. We're gonna do a toothpick test on this and see when it's done.
You do a toothpaste.
Well, toothpick.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, tooth something. So let's just put this in the oven, bake it for 50 to 60 minutes, and we'll see what comes out. I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, we're back. We baked our zucchini bread. As you can see, it's just a little on the flat side. Well, come to figure out, my baking soda was no good. And I had to test it. And the way you test baking soda, 1/3 cup of warm water, pour 1/4 teaspoon of white vinegar in it, stir it around, then take a teaspoon of baking soda, pour it in that mixture. It should froth up. Mine didn't, it just sank to the bottom. So my baking soda was no good. So I'm gonna have to chuck this and go to the store and buy more baking soda. So until next time, and some fresh baking soda, blessings to you and your family.